Hey everybody, it's Orka. So, I have a problem. Currently, I suck at Splatoon. I'm really not good at Splatoon, and I think I know the reason why. My awareness sucks. I can't even get myself to pay attention for a full 5 minute game. I don't even have like ADHD or ADD. I just cannot get myself to lock in for a full 5 minutes. There's always some moment in the game or multiple moments, where my attention lapses and I don't know what's happening around me and I'm just completely lost and I'm just kind of winging it. And I'm actually tired. I'm tired of losing for one. I'm tired of losing, and I'm tired of not being completely aware of what's happening around me, so I can make an informed game plan. So one of my favorite players in the Super Smash Brothers scene, his name is Zane. And if you know anything about Super Smash Brothers Melee, you know that Zane is basically, well, now he's an established player, but back when I was watching uh, Melee back in the day, he was a new up and coming person into the scene, and he basically made it to the very top in a very short amount of time, and something that was basically unseen at the time because at the time there was this thing called this is not a melee this is not a melee video, so I'm not going to get into that. But what I do want to do, what I want to actually say, but what I want to actually say is Zayn basically had a meteoric rise from someone who was a scrub to someone who became top one, top two in the game. Uh, so how did he do it? Zayn had a very specific strategy, and it was basically this. Zayn only practiced one thing at a time. He got really good at one thing and then ignored everything else. Ignored the wins, ignored the losses, ignored everything. Just, okay, I need to get better at dash dancing. Check. I need to get better at my tippers. Okay, he plays Marth. And I need to get better at my tipper fairs. I don't want to speak jargon. Let me bring it back to Splatoon terms. Or really general terms. I want to bring it back to general terms. Zayn only practiced one thing and master that one thing and then moved to the next thing and then master that one thing and then moved on to the next thing until his toolbox became very deep. And I really always admire that, but I've never actually tried it myself. So this is going to be the first time I actually try to do the Zayn method of improvement. And I am going to first tackle my awareness. I don't want to not know what's happening on the map anymore. And I'm going to specifically tackle awareness of the enemy and their location and their specials. That's it. I don't care about where my teammates are. I just want to know where are the four enemies on the map and which one of them has special. That's it. That's all I care about. Once I can fully grasp that, then I will move on to the next thing. My mechanics, my game sense, my all the how to coordinate special, how to use special, all that stuff. That's for later down the line. But I am literally not going to move on from this until I completely master it. I am going to become a god at awareness. I'm going to become a god at awareness. I'm going to become one of the best people you've ever seen at awareness ever. Maybe. And this is the first step to do it. So I have something I want to do. I want to try a new method of practicing where, you know what, just to even bring the point home, I'll do this in turf war. It doesn't even have to be series or open. I mean, I might switch to series or open later, but I'm just gonna open up on turf war and then try to see, do I know where everyone is in the map? After I finish the game, let me talk a little bit more. After I finish the game, I'm going to see at what points in the game did I feel like I was aware of where everyone was, and at what points did I feel like I lost my awareness. And then we're going to use that to see exactly what the triggers were, what made me lose my awareness, why wasn't I aware, when was I taken off guard. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to make a log of it. I'm going to try to reverse engineer and see if there were any context clues that could have helped me become aware of, like, okay, this enemy is here and this enemy is there. I think there are a lot of ways to become more aware of what's happening on the map that aren't extremely obvious. And I want to share that with you over time as I practice this. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. That's what we're going to be trying to do right now. And yeah, so let's first let's change this music because that needs to change. You know what? I'm feeling really routines number 2. Actually, I'm feeling more yeah, I'm feeling more demolish. I'm feeling more demolish too. Do I have a ticket? Do I have? Let me set my timer. And then let's get into it. Ooh. Let's do this, y'all. So again, the only goal is... One second, the sound is off. Shoot. Sorry, I'm very sensitive to sound. I'm very sensitive to sound, and it has to be centered. Oh, now it's left heavy. Oh gosh. Okay, so first off, we have 4 weapons. I'm taking my time. There's a brush on the left. That's a arrow spray that I just bought. They have there's also no, that's the arrow spray down there. That's a gold arrow spray. So then what was that? I guess that was the L3, or is that the sploosh? That was the L3. The brush is on the left side. Okay, the sploosh is down. The brush is still on this left side, and also the arrow spray's on the left. The brush is now right side, and the arrow spray's on the left. There's 3 right here. I'm just gonna keep spamming this. I shouldn't have done that. That was really silly of me. Especially since I knew 3 of them were there. But I did know 3 of them were there, so I don't really care. It's not about winning or losing, it's just about knowing where they are. There's a brush on the left side, and there's also this, that's a sploosh. Now the brush is right there. Arrow spray and that's over there. L3 this is. Okay, I'm gonna move, get some more information. There's 2 on the left side. Here's the L3 right here. I messed that up. Brush is on the left side. I'm just gonna wait for this. That's the arrow spray right here. I'm not even playing the game. This is so weird. I'm not playing anything. L3's right here. What is that on over there? I need to get better at, like, okay. I feel a little lost here. What is that, 19-second mark? What is that? Brush. Okay, now aerosprays. This is the aerospray. Okay. At 19 seconds, I felt kind of bad. So one thing I recognized there is that if you memorize people's outfits, it might be easier for me to like memorize what weapon is what. Because there were 3 shooters that game. It was kind of hard for me to recognize, like, oh, that's as you can see, I was playing super passive and I was just looking at the screen. I was not trying to get any picks at all. In fact, I was just trying to, like, look. Let me write down some stuff. So the first lesson I learned that game is try to memorize gear at the beginning of the game. Like, if there's any specific hats, that can actually be a cue as to, like, what weapon people are playing. Especially when it's hard to distinguish between the shooters. Memorize gear. Now, I said at 19 seconds, I had a lapse in judgment. Let me go back to this replay and see if I can figure out why that was. Go back to 33 seconds. Like that there, I think you see how all the way back they have the headphones. If I can recognize, like, what weapon is that? B? Like, this is a gold aerospray. They have headphones. I can be like, okay, that's a gold aerospray, you know? But this is around the time I felt a little lost. So let me go back. So here I see the aerospray, I see the brush. I know they're on left side. What made me feel lost here? I don't know. That didn't really help anything. I think I have to think about how exactly I'm going to do that better. Let me do another one. Another turf war. Because I actually don't feel like that went poorly. I feel like I, for the most part, could at least say where 3 of them were. Finding the 4th person is pretty hard, but the first 3, especially on a stage like Ship-Shape Cargo, where there really isn't that many places they could be. The Sturgeon Shipyard is a whole different story. So I'm actually curious to see how it would be on Sturgeon, because that stage is much bigger, has a lot more crevices and nooks and crannies, and like, it's a lot harder to keep track of the entire map because your vantage point's limited. Okay, but anyway, we get ship shape again, so okay, now I'm going to try to memorize the other team's headgear. None of them have hats. There's 2 long-range weapons. Splashdown. I'm going to try. Okay, I did remember. That's a splat bomb. You can also use subs to. I'm not like registering what's splat bomb fast enough. That must be the try. Yeah, that's a try there. There's one above me. And here's a try right here. I don't need to chase this. I don't care about chasing anything right now. What is that? That's a splashdown weapon. Splashdown weapon. Okay, that was the big swig. There's 2 splashdown weapons. There's also the jet squelcher. If I see someone's head is glowing, then I know it's a jet squelcher. So that must be, that's a jet squelcher over there. There's 2 heads that should be glowing now. Okay, now they use both of their specials. This is... I should have known. Well, I knew that was a possibility. Okay, now they have super chumps. What is that there? That's a try. That has a splat bomb, so it has to be the try. If it has an auto bomb, it's... Okay, 2 on the right side, 1 on the left. There's 1 fight that's happening here. Let me see if I can actually take advantage of this. That's crazy. That's so weird. Are they about to DC? I'm surprised I didn't get that pick. Anyway, it doesn't really matter if I get a pick or not, because that's not what my goal is. There's no one over here. That's the big swig that just left. This is the... Yeah, the big swig DC. That's what I thought was going to happen. I'm surprised it... The dread... This is much easier to track them now. That's a try. That's the jet. You can also recognize it by the hairstyle. So the jet had that ponytail hairstyle. So memorize gear, memorize hairstyle. Another thing is glowy heads. So if they glow, if they have special, glowy heads can tip this off as well. So I'm learning some stuff. I'm getting some context clues. I want to be able to count to 4 really fast though, right? Like... Okay, great. This is great. I'm just practicing how to do fizzy bombs fast. Is there any guide out there that can tell you how to do fizzy bombs fast? I've been trying to figure out a way. Like, I have a certain thing I'm doing, but I think it could be faster. I just gotta figure out how. Okay, headband. Oh, okay, so the headband on the glamours and the T-Tech has the fish mask, the fish thing. That seems like a shooter over here. Okay, now there's only 1, so I can just push this. I'm gonna try to get into an area where I can see a lot of information. Well, that's, I should have known that they had special. That was my bad. I'm gonna jump over here. Okay, what is that that's been marked there? There's 2 of them that are weak here. Okay, the other 2 are right here. The Jet Squelcher has Splashdown. I'm not going to fall to the same thing again. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that they were getting so, what is that? That had the burst bomb, so that must be the splatter shot? Or no, that was probably a splat bomb. I'm taking everything so passively. Where's the T-Tech? Okay, T-Tech must be over there. Actually, no, I can, okay, there's one that's flanking over here. Huh. Interesting. This is another tip. Is just flick open your map when you don't know where everyone is. Just flick open your map, because that literally informed me that they were doing that little flank on the left side. That's the reason to flick open your map. Flick open map when trying to figure out enemy locations. Okay. Okay. I don't care what my team is. All I care about is, oh, the Aerospray has the helmet. The Aerospray has the helmet. There's 2 Aerosprays though. There's helmet, Aerospray, and something else. The E-Leader also had something, but I couldn't clock it in time. Oh gosh, there's E-Leader. I just recognized that right then. That's so funny. Okay, they're all like in this area right here. Let me see if that might get someone. Okay, they're all here. One of them's going up on this top right area. Okay, that's a brush. I'm gonna back up. I think the brush is gonna try to hit me right over here. The E-leader's on the right side. Aerospray's left over here. The Aerospray's pushing through here. I can't get them. I'm going to back up. They're doing double booyah. Okay, I'm just gonna back up here because I don't really have anything that I can do. There's like way too much paint on the ground. Okay, there's one person on the top left. That's a brush. That's definitely a brush. That's Aerospray right here. I'm gonna fight with this cooler. That's the brush behind me. That's the brush right there. The Aerospray's in mid. They're just all two right here. The E-leader's gonna go on top right. The E-leader's on top right. The brush is on top left. Well, that sucks. Are they still here? I messed that up. Okay, that's there's only the brush in the E-leader now. This probably jumps into mid though. I think the brush is weak, so the brush is going top left. That's the what's weak on left? I can't tell. No one's weak right now. E-leader's right here. There's someone right over there. That's the brush over here. On the left side. Brush is on top left now. I died to that. That was unnecessary. Okay, I think I'm not focusing on my goal as much right now, so I have to refocus. Brush is ahead. Where's the Aerospray? Aerospray must be like... No, that's the Aerospray. Okay, one of the Aerosprays is down. Oops, I didn't mean to drop there. I did not mean to do any of that, but whatever. Brush top left, Aerospray mid right there. Brush is right here. Whoa! Two of them are right here. I'm just gonna keep pushing this. Okay, they're all ahead of us. One is chasing me right here. It's Aerospray. They're booyahing, so I can't jump. One of them is weak in zone. The brush and the Aerospray's top left. One of them just dropped top left here. I need to back up so I don't die here. And then I can... Oh, I didn't put that in the zone. That's my bad. I was trying to put that in the zone and I just put it past the zone. Which makes me wonder, how do I control that? I actually don't know how to control that with Super Jump. Okay, Dynamo has the do-rag. None of them are flanking. I can throw a... That should be guaranteed some damage there. Ooh. I messed that up. Okay, remember your goal, Orka. You're supposed to be looking at, you're supposed to be counting. So, there's a beacon weapon. That is the... Oh, I just thought of something else. I just thought of another deduction I can make that can help me. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that's... They're stuck here. They should be. Like, why did they do that? Actually, I don't. What is that weapon that's on top? That's the arrow spray on top. I'm just gonna wait for it to drop. Wait, it didn't drop? It just is staying there? I can't stay here. Okay, I don't have information. There's two on the bottom. There's one on the bottom right. Okay, that's a wipeout. I'm just gonna paint down. Okay, that's a dynamo. Yeah, I should have known that. Oh, there's also beacons. I have to remember beacons. There's the arrow spray and the roller and the octobrush are down there. Octobrush is on top mid. I messed that up. That's fine. I should. That was one of the situations where it was hard for me to tell exactly what was happening. Oops. Oh well, I gotta push this. So, in terms of knowing where people were that game, I forgot they had beacons. That would have simplified it a lot. I should have made sure to get rid of the beacons because that complicated where they were. You want to simplify the possible places they could be, and I didn't. So like, I just have to make sure that when I have the chance to get rid of beacons. Okay, I'm going to stop this now. Now I'm going to transition over into my X-Rank games. This will be a recorded video, hopefully. If it's not, then I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. All right, peace.